we're not using this picture. I just took a random picture, and I'll have Hughes take a picture for me with his actual camera.
Oh my goodness, that's very pink.
That's pink.
Wow, that's like cotton candy, or that's even brighter than cotton candy.
I love
Welcome, listeners, and thank you for tuning into Those Nerds Over There. We are your hosts. I'm Alan.
I'm Kazel.
And I'm Sal.
This is the podcast where we take a part of nerd culture and talk about it passionately as nerds do.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I want to just give a quick shout out to us as we start this podcast, because we are now on Stitcher.
Woo!
Yay.
So to any of those listeners on Stitcher, thank you for
Cheers.
listening.
Raise your glasses.
Yes.
Clink,
and
clink.
so we are
Clink,
now
clink.
on 3 platforms, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and iTunes. So
Hooray.
we're trying to get on more stuff, but thank you for whoever has listened, and yeah.
Thank you. We love you.
Whee.
I would like to give a shout out also to Sal's pink hair.
Hey.
He did it. He really did it.
It's super pink.
Did I talk about this on a podcast?
You
I
did.
don't think you.
Oh. All right. Well, coming full circle.
It's very
Episode
pink.
5.
Yeah.
My God, it is very pink.
It's great. We will post on social media soon.
Soon.
Marvel had the pink.
Hooray.
All right.
All right. So, like we like to start every episode, we're going to take a question from the Nut Jar, one of our 2 false gods. It's like, if you like this show and you want to submit a question, feel free to DM a question to us or leave it in the comments and, leave whatever social media you want plugged. And we will be added to the Nut Jar.
They can email us too, right?
Huh?
They could totally email us too.
Oh, totally. But I mean, I don't know. I don't email
No one's
people.
gonna read that. No one's gonna read that.
I don't really know people that email people anymore.
Oh.
If you email people, leave a comment.
And we'll read your comment, and then you can email us and tell us in the comment that you emailed us.
Uh-oh. All right. 3 weeks in a row. This one comes from my roommate, Forrest.
Nice.
Hello, Forrest. You seem like a cool guy.
He is pretty cool. And you can catch him on Twitch, and his name is @Kahoy, Kahoyy.
Kahoy.
And this week, he wants to know top waifus and husbandos.
Oh, no.
Sal, I think
I say, oh, no, but this is, totally my topic.
Exactly. I think, would you mind going first? Because I think you're the most well-equipped.
Before you start, what is this limited to?
Okay,
Is it
so
just
let's
anime?
get this straight.
Yes,
I don't know
help
how to
me.
answer that.
Waifus and husbandos are not limited to anime.
Okay, just making sure.
And whoever says otherwise, cough, cough, Jacob, you're wrong. So
Yeah, if you disagree, go ahead and @Sal.
go ahead and at me. At Salzik on Twitter. I will fight you.
Okay. Now that that's been clarified, I have to think.
Well, in the meantime, Sal, top waifu and or husbando.
Oh, man. So, top waifu. That's really hard for me. Because I have a lot. I actually, I'm looking up. I have a waifu wall. Where I have just art of waifus on a display.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now up there is Azura from Fire Emblem, Raven from Teen Titans, Nori from Guilty Crown, and then Lucina from Fire Emblem. But
Yes.
I probably would say hold on. Rem from ReZero. I know people say she's best girl as a joke and stuff, but she kind of is best girl. And so I would say she's my top waifu because she's like great. She just...
I never saw any ReZero, and then all I ever saw was just like the craziness about Amelia sucking and Rem being best girl.
Yes.
So like what happened?
So like the dude, I don't even remember his name because I hate the protagonist, but he lands in this other world because it's an isekai, and he meets this girl Amelia who is like, I think she's an elf, but she doesn't want to be considered one or something like that, or else they're supposed to be evil. I don't remember.
Huh.
But she has like white hair, and he just like falls in love with her instantly. And so like the whole anime is just him following her around. And then he meets these twins, Rem and Ram, and they're like half demon. But
very anime.
Yes. Ram ends up losing her like demon horn, so Rem has powers and she doesn't. And he ends up going on adventures with Rem because of something that happens. So in the anime, every time the main character dies, he goes back in time and has to start over from where he left off. Because he has like these checkpoints, like per se. I don't really know what they actually are because the anime hasn't explained it.
Is it still ongoing?
No, it's on hiatus right now. I don't know if it's ever going to get a second season. But so he goes on to this adventure with Rem, who like basically like almost throws her life away for him. This guy that she met who's like completely useless. And then he goes on another adventure with her, and Amelia completely like tears him down because he says something stupid, and Rem's like, I'm still here for you. And he's like, okay, but I like Amelia. And and just like everyone has shunned the main character by now except Rem. And then so Rem ends up like confessing her love to him, which like almost never happens. And he's just like, yeah, but I don't like you that way. And she's like, that's okay, I still love you and I'm gonna follow you anywhere. And
Jesus.
He's like, okay. And so that's kind of why everyone is like, she's way better.
So what was the appeal of the show?
It's a dark isekai. So
okay.
it's kind of like a spin on the genre. So the dude, like, because he dies a lot and it's pretty like horrific and traumatizing, he like kind of goes mentally insane at one point because he keeps dying and he can remember how he dies and how it felt. So it's just a very interesting anime, and it has magic and all that other stuff. And halfway through it, the main character actually changes, which doesn't happen a lot because he's like this idiot, and then he actually becomes kind of competent, so you don't hate him as much. So it's just, I don't know, it's very appealing, and Rem is definitely best girl. So that's the long story of why Rem is the best wife.
Well,
who's next?
I'm still thinking, but Kazel, have you thought about yours?
Kind of. I had to dig into Twitter and find there's like those like bingo boards that everyone would like post up.
Oh, the
on
favorite
Twitter.
character bingo?
Yeah, I had to pull up mine and remember who all my favorite characters are.
Remember, like, I made a waifu bingo.
You did.
Yeah, you did. I saw that. I saw that I did not get any bingos on it. It was very sad. But it's hard because I know there's literally one character that I've always been like, oh look, there's my never husband. Because he'll never be my husband, because in the game you cannot romance him.
Never husband.
Yeah. So he's my never husband. And he's from what's it called? Dragon Age he was in 2. Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. And
is it Varric?
It is Varric.
Oh my god.
You know how mad I was when I found out I could not romance him and he ended up being like the best character? I'm like, dude, why would you do this to me? But yeah, he's my favorite. He's awesome. I bought his book.
Nice.
Wait, is there a physical copy of his book?
Yep, there's a physical copy of Hard on Hightown.
Whoa.
Hard in Hightown. And it's pretty good. I haven't finished reading it because I don't read.
Who did you end up romancing instead?
In which one?
I know more about 3.
Okay, Inquisition.
Yeah.
Dang it, I forget his name. Iron.
Oh, the Iron Bull.
Yeah, because I was also a Kunari because I had to. I like making weird characters, and I'm just like, I'm gonna be this. And I made it's beautiful relationship, and I ship it. And then I made a second game.
The Iron Bull's great.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a good guy. He's gigantic.
He's massive, but he's got a really good heart.
You. Now I want to play that again. Dang it.
I'm still playing through Origins.
I think I started I finished the main game of Origins, and then I was like, oh, there's a whole second part. I should do that. I don't think I finished that.
Rip.
It's like, well, now you have more stream content.
That was me. And,
I need
to. Tales of Legendia.
Huh?
I finished the main story, and then it's like, oh, there's all this backstory and side quests. I'm not gonna do it.
Wait, which one is Tales of Legendia?
It was on the PS2, and the fighting system wasn't 3D. It was like linear. So it was very different.
Huh.
Yeah. But I liked the characters, and it was fun. It's definitely not the strongest Tales.
That is the one that I've always wanted to play.
Oh.
Legendia. Even though everyone's like, that one's the worst one. Why do you want to play that one?
Yeah, it's not.
I like how I looked up Legendia by itself without Tales of, and it just gave me a lot of Russian?
What?
Oh.
Slavic? Something? A different language? I'm like, oh, huh.
It's like, what's showing up?
Translate this page from what language? Polish. It's Polish. Never mind. I don't know what you're translating, Google. What are we doing here? Oh, is it a place?
Ooh.
In Poland? Ooh, I want to go party here.
Oh, is it a party place?
Yeah, it's a party place.
Hey.
With like amusement parks and whatnot. Dude.
All right. Was it
Okay, we learned a thing.
Put that on the agenda.
Wait, you put Poland on the agenda?
Not just, I mean, not, I mean, you know, the party place.
The party place.
Okay.
Add it to the descriptions.
Alan's still thinking.
Yeah,
this is a very,
Should I contribute my...
not for everyone question?
I know, it's just like, you know, I knew this question was in here, and
You're just hoping you never drew it.
Something like that, but it's one of those moments where it's just like, I'm feeling really embarrassed for some dumb reason.
Here, let me contribute my waifu, alright?
Okay.
Good? You ready?
Sure.
I'm ready.
Ryoko from Tenchi.
Ryoko from what?
From Tenchi.
I've never heard of that.
Tenchi Muyo? Gosh, I'm old.
Wait, what is this?
Ryoko from Tenchi Muyo.
Mm-mm.
It's like the oldest, or I feel like it's the original harem anime.
Ryoko?
Ryoko. Ryooki is an animal. Ryoko.
I got
Ryoko.
it.
Tenchi.
Oh man, this is old.
Yep, I love her. She's my wife. She's my space pirate wife.
I believe it.
Space pirate.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Original harem anime.
If I had to have a husbando, it would be the character in Steins Gate that's actually a boy but looks like a girl.
Wow. Going out there, huh?
Yeah. He's so great. I love him.
All right. I'm glad the scope of this got extended past anime. Because the only person I can think of as a waifu remotely would probably just be Ygritte from Game of Thrones.
That's fair. You could just say Ygritte from Game of Thrones.
I know, but it feels weird. It just feels weird to say these words from my mouth.
You will be associated with many things, just not this one.
No,
everyone knows.
I'll do it. Was it? You just fucking give me all the internet stuff. I'll consume it.
Right.
I'll make it a part of me.
I don't remember when I embraced the whole waifu thing, but like, I don't know. I think it's fun, so I don't care what people think. I'm actually wearing my waifu shirt.
Are you? The picture you sent me earlier
had
your
the
Wi-Fi symbol.
Exactly, Wi-Fi.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
So it's it's a Wi-Fi symbol and it has a heart at the end, and instead of Wi-Fi searching, it says waifu searching.
Okay, well now you got to put that shirt along with the pink hair.
Yes.
But yeah, I pick Ygritte because she's great and she's an archer and she's ride or die.
All right.
Oh my god.
You're like, oh, all right, moving on.
And then if I pick husbando, it's probably McCree. Everyone gave both of theirs.
Fair. That's
Aww.
fair.
But I love westerns and I love country music. And cowboys and cowgirls are my aesthetic.
You're just like, I'm just gonna put everything out there then.
The world knows now.
They know.
Oh man.
Damn it, Forrest. Why did I let you put this in here?
There was a thing on Twitter where it was like Japan made these anime girls so that boys would be able to know how to talk to women and go start families and stuff. And then it was like 10 years later, guys are marrying the anime girls. This is not what was planned.
I think I remember.
Japan.
Dang it, Japan. I love you.
All right. Well, please comment with your top waifus and husbandos.
Let us know yours and what you think about ours.
Please.
Make us feel less awkward, or Alan, I guess.
All right. Save me. All right.
What a great start.
Now that we're past that.
It's a good start to the Thanksgiving spirit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so thankful
for my husbando.
Yes, for all my harem of waifus.
That's right. We wanted to do kind of a Thanksgiving theme where we, the things we talk about today are in part things we're really thankful for. So let's see who the wheel asks as tribute first.
Spinning the wheel.
Okay, cool. I actually wanted us to start with this one, but Kazel.
Hooray!
It's like, what are you thankful for?
What am I thankful for? Well, it's a good thing I want to talk about this because I'm super thankful for the scope of just creativity that people have, because if certain people weren't in this world right now, there wouldn't be an outlet for creativity. So someone say like Stanley, who recently passed away, if he didn't exist, yeah, rip in peace. He died on the 18th. When was that? A couple days ago.
Did you say the 18th?
Because that hasn't happened yet.
That's tomorrow.
The 8th.
There you go.
Why did the internet tell me 18th? What? Anyway, well, he passed away recently and was very sudden, very
sad.
Very sad, and everyone was all of the internet was just mourning the loss of this great creative mind.
We were grieving.
Yeah, but dude, Stanley was kind of amazing. like all the stuff he did, all of these things he has done, even in his like super old age and poor health, he's just continually encouraging everyone and telling them to keep going, don't give up, and just keep doing what you love, because like literally he started out, he wanted to write the great American novel, and when he was first starting out in work, he started off writing obituaries in the newspaper.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he quit that job because it was too depressing. And he wound up in some sort of comic studio, and it was kind of like not very, it was I think it was like the starter of Marvel at the time, and all he did was fill up inkwells for the inkers. And as time went on, he actually got to write like a filler text for the end of a Captain America comic floppy, and that was his very first thing that really like put him out there as a writer. And that's when he actually started using his pseudonym Stan Lee, which later became his legal name.
Wait, what was his original name?
His original name was Stan Lee Lieber. I have it written.
So like Stan Lee.
Yeah, exactly. So Stanley Martin Lieber, because he's a very Jewish family man. He was born in New York, and he was born as Stanley Lee Martin Lieber in 1922. He's a very old man, but
yeah,
he made it to 95.
Yeah,
to think like someone being like living all those generations.
Yeah, and still being like the happy, positive man that he is now, or he was, and probably still is. But like even when he I want to explain the pseudonym really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So he made the pseudonym because he was still planning on writing his great American novel, and he didn't want his real name to be associated with comics, which was really not like a high demand thing. It was like down, like frowned upon back then. So he's like embarrassed. Word. Yeah, and so he was embarrassed to be associated with comics. So that's why he used a pseudonym for whenever he was in comics and doing comic stuff. But I guess he kind of wrote the great American novel, which is basically the golden age of comics.
Yeah. He gave us heroes that we could look up to, and
he gave us so many heroes.
Inspired
like the Fantastic
generations.
Four, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, X-Men, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, and the beloved Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All them little kitties. Did you know that he made Iron Man so that everyone would hate him?
What?
Yeah, he made Iron Man with the like worst personality, and then he became like one of the most loved characters.
That explains why he was like an alcoholic and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I kind of just looked up all this like information that I didn't know about, and I figured that no one else really knew about. Like when he was enlisted in the army for a while, and he started off repairing stuff, but then after a while they transferred him into a department called Training Film Division, and they made films for training, and he was his title was playwright, and he actually playwrote with the creator of The Addams Family and Dr. Seuss.
Whoa.
I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Like,
yeah.
Wait, these were training videos though?
Mm-hmm. For the army.
Wow, dang.
Yeah. And that was during World War II.
Yeah, and it, like, as much crap as I give Marvel,
so
DC like will never had someone like Stan Lee, like being that like positive backbone of the company for so many years. So I definitely really admired Stan Lee for that.
There was something I read. It said that when Stan Lee was like the solid editor-in-chief at the time, he was the editor-in-chief for a while, but when he started off, he was the one who introduced the idea of like crediting the artist, writer, and the inker and the letterer, and he also he wanted to add a section into all the comics where it made it feel like the people who worked on these comics were actual people that you could talk to. So instead of people writing letters like, "Dear editor," it would be, "Dear Stan Lee." So he made sure there was a connection between the people working in the comics with the audience who's reading. And I was like, that's really cool. He loved making connections, and that was really cool about him, because even in his old age, he went out to conventions and met people, shook their hands, took pictures with them, and even I think a year after he got his pacemaker, he came to my school, walked into my building, and walked into my classroom and said hello to my class. I'm like, dude.
Oh, wow.
Stan Lee.
That's incredible.
Look at you. And he's just like, yeah, just keep doing what you love, and Excelsior. I'm like, oh, you're so cute.
Oh.
Man, he was too pure for this world.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Did not deserve him. And I love the fact that 2 days before he passed, someone, I think, I forget who it was, someone who took his place as the like lead of Marvel, like the publisher man, he actually was visiting Stan Lee in the hospital or at home, and Stan Lee said that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing a cameo and blah blah blah. So he was still planning on cameos while he was in the hospital, and I'm like, he just wants to make everyone happy.
Yeah,
I love him. I appreciate him, and I'm super thankful for what he's been and done in the world. He's a cool man.
During the week that it happened, there was a tweet that had been being spread, and I really hope it wasn't like, misattribution or misquote about, how he felt silly writing comics and such when other people were doing things like building bridges and such. But then, like, he realized, like, by writing all that stuff, by making the comics, that was super important too, because it gave people.
Yeah, like, I remember seeing that. Just like him realizing how important entertainment is. Like, coming home from like a tough day at work or anything, and just being able to escape is like really important. So, entertainers are important to our society too.
So in 2006, he was actually commemorated by Marvel on his 65 years of being with the company. And they just made a bunch of one-shots with him actually interacting with the characters that he made. And I was like, I remember accidentally seeing one with him and Dr. Doom. And it's just him being like, or Dr. Doom was like, I don't like being portrayed as an evil guy, and Stan Lee's in the corner like, oh yeah, you're awesome. I was like, oh, you're so cute. And yeah, I think, yeah, there were a bunch of one shots with him with like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, The Thing, and Silver Surfer. Like, just having fun with all these people who love him so much and appreciate what he's done. And yeah, there was one situation in which some guy approached him to start up a company called I think it's Stanley Media. Yeah, Stanley Media. And it was a more of a animation based company, and the guy approached him as a means to where Stanley wouldn't have to answer to Marvel with things that Stanley would want to do. And so Stanley was like, oh yeah, sure, that sounds awesome. I want to do stuff that isn't Marvel related. So they literally released like a bunch of these silly animated things. Like, I only wrote down one because I thought this one was the most hilarious one. The Backstreet Project.
Backstreet Project.
Mm-hmm. A project including the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, oh my god.
And that was in 1999, and I was looking at pictures and I'm like, dude, I have that action figure.
Oh wow.
I forgot, and I never realized it was a Stanley Media thing. But it ended up being like kind of bad news bears, because the guy who approached Stan Lee for that kind of just wanted his name and to steal from the people who were investing in Stan Lee and Marvel in general. So, yeah. But it made some silly things. It put some silly things out there, like the Backstreet Project, which was, I remember it was only McDonald's was selling the toys.
Of course.
Oh my god.
Back then, McDonald's.
Yep. It was funny. Yeah, I thought that was funny, but like, still, even with the guy who seems super shady, Stanley was just like, "Oh yeah, I'll encourage your project. I'll endorse your project. I'll be part of it."
Yeah,
So,
just looking at the good in
looking out for
everyone.
Yeah.
Paying it forward.
I don't know how many times I've said that already, but he's good.
I don't think it can be, I think in a moment like this, I don't think it can be stressed enough.
Yeah.
Just like some of the things we have now and like attitudes toward creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I don't think I should speak. I can't even get these words.
It's okay, Alan. He's just very important to all of us.
I don't know. I didn't think I was. Was that when it happened? I texted my sister about it, and she told me not to get emotional, and I didn't think I was, and I'm here now, and I feel like I am, and I don't know why. When I was fine before.
Yeah, I mean, this is like probably the first time you had to like critically think about it, though. So
I remember when he did get his pacemaker, which was 2012, and that was the time I was in college for comics, so I would hear a lot about it. But I think it was last year when he was supposed to make an appearance at a convention here in town, and he actually had to cancel. And that's when I started getting worried. I'm like, oh man, he's getting up there. Oh no, you can't have Stan Lee anymore.
How old was he?
So I'm trying. Last year?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it was last year when he had to start canceling appearances. Like, there's a comic book store in town that always, they would like have him come over and just like sign stuff for people. But it got to the point where they're just like, can you just send the stuff you want to have signed to us, and we'll send it to him, and they'll send it back. I'm sure he already made his cameo for Avengers 4, so
yeah, we'll definitely
expect someone to start sobbing in the middle of the theater when that premieres.
Yeah, we'll definitely see at least one, maybe like 2 or 3, because Dark Phoenix and something else was filming, right? Spider-Man? Or has that not filmed yet?
I think that one finished.
I remember that was planned.
I don't know.
Might have been.
Yeah, but definitely we'll see him in The Last Avengers, which is already going to be hard to watch. Because it's like the end of the first era of these movie superheroes.
Oh, he's probably in Captain Marvel, too.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Captain Marvel.
So we'll see him 2 more times, at most.
All right, shall we move on from this topic?
Yes.
We'll move on, but I feel like we should like close on something. Because have either of you seen Coco? Because I have not.
No.
Oh, yes.
There's that thing or that idea that like, you only die once everyone forgets about you, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't think anyone's gonna forget about Stanley anytime soon.
Exactly. I think, thank you, Stanley, for, all these amazing things you've given us, and, you're always gonna be in our hearts, so you're always gonna be with us.
Yay.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Yay.
I feel like a dumbass right now.
No, you're fine.
You're a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your brain is reminding you that you are a human being. You're a human with emotions and feelings.
When can I get the patch to get the feelings out?
Gotta wait like a couple years.
Damn it.
Till you're jaded and hate everything.
Once the cynicism kicks in.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you need that trauma DLC.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh man, that sucks because it's DLC, so you had to pay for it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good. I'm good.
Yay.
We're back. I'm good.
Yay.
I'm good.
We're back.
All right. So, spinning the wheel once more. Ooh. All right. Salad, which is what I have entered on the wheel.
I thought it was gonna be you, and I was like, this wheel is always doing it in a specific order.
Nope. So, Salad.
Ruined.
What are you thankful for?
So my topic is don't starve, and I am definitely thankful for video games. Video games are one of like the few things that encouraged me to start writing.
Whoa.
Yeah, that and music, but I didn't want to talk about music again, and
Oh, we can always talk about music.
yeah, and I didn't really have any specific music thing to talk about, but so video games, like I remember playing Donkey Kong and like Super Mario and all those things, which were fine because they were fun, but like when I like played like one of my first like RPGs that had a story, like when I first played like one of the Tales games or one of the Final Fantasy games or like Fire Emblem, like
all very great games.
All very great games. Like to know you can tell a story in a different way was just like so fascinating to me. So for like the longest time I wanted to get into like storytellings in video games, but I was like, that's not, like, I'm not the best at that. And because of music, I wanted to write poetry, so I wrote poetry for a long time, and I was like, I kind of suck at this too. So, just working through, like, what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. But it was definitely, like, my inspiration. And so, for today's topic, one of my favorite games that...
Wait, hold
on. Go for it.
Sorry, I just want... Was there a specific game that was like kind of a specific Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy or Tales that was like, I want to write now kind of thing?
Probably Tales of Symphonia.
Ooh, okay. The best one?
Yep. Everyone's favorite,
yeah. I played it, I think I had to be in middle school, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It had that rated T rating.
Yeah. We just got the GameCube, and me and Ricky were at Blockbuster. That ancient thing.
It's like, we'll see it in Captain Marvel.
Yay!
And I seen this game called Tales of Symphonia on the shelf, and I was like, well, this looks cool. This was before I even played Final Fantasy, so... Because I, like, never owned a Sony system. So I was like, this looks cool, and I like anime, and it kind of looks like anime.
Right. It was very anime.
And, yeah, and then Ricky, I think he wanted to get, like, Super Monkey Ball. And I was like, no, but this game. And so we chance got it and rented it. And I remember opening the little thing, and there were 2 discs. And I was like, what is this? Like, it did not comprehend in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we played it, and it was just, like, the best thing ever. It was like opening up a book for the first time. Just, like, experiencing this just, like, magical world, and, like, these like, all these amazing characters, and this magic system, and the world, like...
A very fun combat system.
Yeah, like, just everything about that game is just great. And so I was like, I want to start writing. And so I wrote about this, like, fantasy world, which I won't talk about what my first stories were back then. But I would always write these little stories. I'd write, like, a little chapter and give it to Ricky to read. So those were fun times. And that's, like, what got me on my writing journey.
Do you think about like, because Rick is obsessed with the Tales series too.
Yeah.
But do you think back like to that Blockbuster if you had let him rent Super Monkey Ball instead?
I mean, we definitely ended up getting Super Monkey Ball and loved it eventually. But if we never like picked that up, like, I don't know what would have happened. I might have just ended up, it would have happened later with Fire Emblem because someone introduced me to Fire Emblem. But yeah, like, I probably wouldn't have started writing as soon, or I probably would have leaned harder on like the art sort of thing, because I was always wavering on whether or not I wanted to do like art or writing. So who knows? And if we didn't get that game, he definitely would not have gotten so hooked on RPGs, because that was like our first love. And after we got that, we were like, every time a new Tales came out, we were like, we need to get this. And then we would see like we seen like these other games like Star Ocean and stuff, and we're like, oh man, this looks kind of like Tales. We should try this game out too. And oh man, look at Final Fantasy. That kind of, it's turn based, but that could be like Tales. So
oh, Star Ocean.
So yeah, we were just like, it just spawned our love for RPGs. And yeah. So, my topic is not a Tales game.
It's not, but video games.
But video games in general. And this actually got me to love, like, sandbox games. So, my topic is Don't Starve.
Yay!
Yes. It's a game that came out in 2013, which, now that I think about it, is a while ago. But it was around the time where, like, sandbox games, like, just, like, flooded the market.
Yeah.
And just like
because of Minecraft.
Yeah, and everyone loved Minecraft. And I hated Minecraft. Mostly because I just had to be that hipster that just hated the thing everyone liked.
You're still like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to shake, okay? But yeah, so I just didn't care for Minecraft. I understood like the appeal because I do really love like Legos and stuff, but I don't know, there was nothing there for me. And so I picked up Don't Starve, and I like fell in love with it instantly because it has that same kind of feel. You're not like building whatever you want, but you're like building your own like your own crops. It's very like was the game we talked about last week, Animal Crossing. You're like collecting things and building things, one of those kinds of games. Yeah. But it had like this deeper element to it where you had to survive. And so like the game is called Don't Starve because you're trying to like survive this horrible like wilderness, and you're trying not to starve or go insane. And like the game itself has just like this amazing aesthetic of kind of like it kind of reminds me of like Tim Burton-esque stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good description.
Yeah. And so it just like it got me to love those kinds of games. Like without Don't Starve, I wouldn't have ever tried Animal Crossing again, because I remember playing it and being like, eh. Or like Harvest Moon, or like any of those like kind of games. So,
well, thank you, Don't Starve.
Yeah. And I just love it because like it's one of those games that doesn't hold your hand
at all.
It makes you figure things out.
So it throws you into this world, and like everything like wants to kill you in the world. So you're just, it's all trial and error. Oh, this thing killed me. Oh, this thing doesn't like me, or I can befriend this animal. And so I just love that kind of thing. It's my topic this week because it just got a new expansion called Hamlet. And so every time they add a new expansion, it's like your character is going into a different world. And so it's like starting the game over again. You have to figure out like what's trying to kill you, like how you're going to survive. And they expanded a lot on this, where they have a lot of different what they call biomes, which are like different territories, like woods and the grasslands and stuff like that. So they have a bunch of new areas, and they added like a city system, which they never had before. And so you can like go into shops and buy things and get money. And so it's just a really fun new experience, and been having a good time with it. So yeah, that's my topic.
Has the introduction of economy changed how difficult it is to survive?
Yes and no, because I think if you figure out the economy system and can work with it fairly well, then it's a little bit easier, because you can like buy materials instead of having to go find them. But getting started and like getting money in the first place is hard. So like I think once you get going it becomes easier, but starting out it's harder.
This is a metaphor for life.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, it is.
I can't remember. Have they had other expansions before? I can't remember anymore.
Yeah.
I know there was the one with the where somethings.
Yeah, so after the original, they've had Reign of Giants, which came out in 2014. That added like new biomes and giants to the game, which are like bigger version of these creatures. Which, by the way, all the creatures are like made up, and it reminds me of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they like just mix two breeds of animals and just call it like an animal. And I love it because you're always like running into these weird creatures
that are trying to kill you.
Yeah, most of them are trying to kill you, not all of them. You can like befriend pigs and stuff. So yeah, Reign of Giants came out, and that was really cool because at first they only had like the 2 seasons, but Reign of Giants added like summer and spring. And so, you know, more ways to die, but
I think that's when I was in college at the time, and my roommate was just like, hey, dude, let's play this together. So I think that was when me and my roommate got like a little closer, because we would play Don't Starve together.
Nice.
So I remember Reign of Giants.
I think we did that too, Sal.
Yeah. Reign of Giants came out first before, and then the next one was Don't Starve Together.
Oh, okay. Was Don't Starve Together only the base game, or did it have Reign of Giants?
It was only the base game at first, I believe, and then they updated it to have Reign of Giants. But yeah, when Don't Starve Together came out, I was like, this is great. I can survive with my friends. Unfortunately,
or die with your friends.
Yeah. Unfortunately, most of my friends are not as partial to Don't Starve.
I wasn't very good at it, and I remember when we were playing, I ended up just having to rely on you and Glenn to kind of make sure I survived.
Yeah. But
whenever I would play with my friends, they would wander off, and I'm just like, where did you go? Why did you leave me?
Yes. So, and the game has like a supernatural element to it. There's like shadow monsters and magic and stuff. And so, like, one time I was playing with my friend Glenn, and I opened a random chest, and the like overlord of this world, his name is Maxwell, and he was just like, you fool for opening up the chest. And I was like, what? And then it just started snowing.
What? Huh?
And so like what happened is I brought upon winter like 20 days early.
By opening a chest.
By opening a chest, yeah. And we were not ready for winter, and we ended up freezing to death. And so just those kind of things I think are just so fun.
Fun or frustrating?
They're fun.
Both,
yeah. I like the challenge of being frustrated, but I like the fun of surprises and having to overcome. But yeah,
fun.
So, you know, just like with you in Overwatch, Kazel.
Yeah.
So yeah, Don't Starve Together came out. Luckily, if you already owned Don't Starve, it was free, even though they had to like rebuild like the engine and stuff.
Nice.
Like from the ground up.
So I just have to patch it.
Yeah. And then the next expansion was Shipwrecked, where they made it was a whole new world, and it was so you can travel the oceans, because you couldn't do that before. And so that one was fun. and like so much harder because you were traveling like to different islands and you didn't know which island did what, and then you could like there were just massive waves in the water too, and creatures that tried to kill you in the water, and you're like, but I can't do anything in the water, so I just have to run. So and then that brings us to this year where Hamlet comes out. So
every time you load into, it's like a different. You say it's a different world, right?
Yeah.
So I remember the original world, and I was looking up more about the game, and there was this kind of weird backstory revolving around Maxwell and this girl.
Oh yeah. So,
but I'm wondering how that relates to these new worlds.
I don't know if that story actually relates to the other worlds. Because there's actually an adventure mode that I've actually never played because I get too focused on trying to like build like my perfect like little world by myself that I forget that there's a story.
And you don't like to play Minecraft.
Yeah. Funny, right? But there is a story in the base game because what happened, so the story is like Wilson, who's the main character, he's like a scientist and a chemist, and he's trying to build something, but he can't figure out how to do it. And so he starts hearing this random voice come out of his radio, whispering things to him, and that person is Maxwell. And so, like the idiot Wilson is, he just listens to this random voice talking to him, and he builds this machine and starts it up, and then these like shadow hands come out of it and pull him in, and that's how he ends up in this random world. And so in the story mode, like at the beginning, you have to find all these pieces to the machine that you lost, and then you go inside the door to the machine, and then you get transported to another level, and then I'm pretty sure at the end you're supposed to like defeat Maxwell or something along those lines. And so that's what the story is. But the other, like the expansions for like Shipwrecked and Hamlet, they don't have a story mode, so I don't know how exactly they tie in, if they do at all.
Just extra worlds.
Yeah, just, more fun, keeping the game alive.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the thing that drew me into the game in the first place, because it was this really creepy ass story that it messed me up for a bit.
Oh, that's like totally my aesthetic.
Yeah.
I think I should open it up in the next couple days while there's no school.
Right.
So yeah, Don't Starve. I'm gonna play that.
Yeah, no, we got to start that up
when
again.
I'm home.
It's a good game.
Yeah, we can Don't Starve together.
Yay.
Yeah.
Were we gonna play on 3 separate machines and see who died first?
Okay.
That would be funny. I would definitely outlast you guys.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't remember what mods I have, but I know they don't transfer over to whoever has the server.
Yeah. And one of the good things about Don't Starve, well, Minecraft I guess did this too, but like Don't Starve is like on every platform, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's on every platform?
Pretty much, yeah. It's even on iOS.
Oh, that's right.
Or, yeah.
iOS.
All right. That just leaves Alan.
Yeah.
Hooray. Elaine.
All right.
What did you get excited about this
week?
What
were you thankful for?
What were you thankful
what I was
for
thankful
this
and
week?
excited about was that yesterday, as of this recording on the 16th, Pokemon Let's Go came out.
Woo!
Yep, and I got my special pre-ordered Pokemon Let's Go Switch.
Nice.
Can you give me a price point?
500.
He's like, let's not talk. Oh my goodness.
Oh. Can keep that if you want, but
someone's either balling or in debt.
Well,
let's leave that ambiguous.
Leave it ambiguous.
Okay.
But you know what? I felt like it was worth it because I am a very long time Pokemon fan, and I got real excited despite, people kind of going nuts about how this game was going to turn out. And I've been playing through it. I just got past Cerulean City, and I am completely in love with this game.
That's good.
No, what it is it's a remastered version of Pokemon Yellow, actually.
Oh, snap.
So what they've done is they've replaced, normal battle mechanics for catching wild Pokemon with just the Pokemon Go, the phone app way of just throwing a ball and catching Pokemon. And
do you think that makes it better? Do you like it more than the
I don't think
original?
One's better over the other. It's just different.
Okay.
And I think it works. But the way I've been kind of playing it is I haven't really thought of it like a main entry game into the Pokemon series. I just thinking of it as a spin-off. But
right,
man,
which it is.
It is. I'm sure. Well, now that I'm playing it, I'm not sure, but I'll touch on that in a bit later. But my God, this is just. I love the game so much because it's just this like blast from the past of nostalgia.
Oh,
because like
nice.
I know because I have this weird power where I've traded social ability with the ability to just remember those minute details about crap. And I know, all the things I'm going to see in the game, but just the fact knowing it doesn't change that how much I love it or re-experiencing it in this game.
Yeah. Was Pokemon Yellow your first game, or?
It actually wasn't. So the original Red and Blue, because it's going to be, related to those two, came out 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But my first was Crystal.
Oh.
First female protagonist. Hey, what's up?
I love Crystal.
But yeah, that was great. But
no one take that out of context.
I learned
Take it.
Shit, I just got that. But I did play through Leaf Green, which was my experience through the Kanto region.
Okay.
No, I loved the Leaf Green, especially because I lost Pokemon Sapphire.
I played Leaf Green also. I didn't care for it that much though.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know. I guess the magic wasn't there anymore. I was playing Pokemon for the first time, so I was like, "Oh, this is like the same game." So, and I felt that way with like Heart Gold too. Or no, I got Soul Silver because I played the original Gold. So I was like, I want to get the opposite. And I was like, I don't, because Gold is my favorite game out of the series. And so I was like, it's just playing the game over. I could just go play Pokemon Gold.
So none of the remakes have interested you?
Yeah, none of the remakes haven't been great. I didn't even try to pick up like the Alpha and Omega Sapphire, and I forgot what they were called.
No, you got it. Alpha and Omega.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even pick those up because I was like, it's probably going to be the same thing. But this is a little different because like the gameplay is different, and it's also like completely upgraded to 3D, and like so I think it is kind of a new experience because
well, I'm kind of wondering, it's just like it is the same as far as me playing it. It's been like the same story, which is why I know where everything is and shit. But I'm
like, does the battle system makes it like the new experience of the battle system might make it more interesting. Like you're instead of just like hashing through and doing all the same things, you're like, oh, I get to do this. Whoa, hang on, because I remember I picked up, I don't remember which one, it might have been Sapphire. I picked it up because my brother gave it to me, but the first one I played was Red and I think Yellow. And then I haven't played any since then because I was like, they're all the same.
How dare you?
All of the battle system and walking around and doing all that stuff is all the same.
Yeah.
And I needed something new to do. So I think if I ended up picking up a Switch and getting this new one, I might be more interested.
Yeah. You make a point too, Kazel, because I stopped playing Pokemon for a while because I was like, oh, it's kind of just the same game, just different Pokemon. Like despite my love for Pokemon, it's a great game. But like I didn't start playing it again until X and Y because it like went into 3D. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is something new, because beforehand like they would remake the game and it would still be sprites and stuff, just like more clear.
Right.
So
I can see what that face is. I can see what that item is. Cool. It's the same game.
So like, but like making like the jump to like all like whole 3D and like these great graphics and like new mechanics ish. So I think that's different enough where I would pick it up again.
Yeah, it makes it interesting, like changes like that.
Well, that's good because there's a bunch of new features compared to like the original that I think are really gonna get, people actually like wanting to play it. In Pokemon Yellow, you had Pikachu, right? And you could see how they were doing, and they would always follow you around, which is the same again, but this time you can have Eevee or Pikachu, and
I'm so happy you can get Eevee.
I have Eevee. But you can interact with them a lot
best.
more. It kind of borrows from, in recent generations, the Pokemon Ami feature where you can feed your Pokemon and pet them and they love you more. And they've done that with Pikachu and Eevee, but there's also like moments where they're going to call you. They want you to talk to them. It's just this cutest thing because there's this super heavy emphasis on this bond you're having with your partner Pokemon.
That's cute.
I like that.
And it's cute and it just feels really good.
Yeah. And I don't know if this works with every single Pokemon, but you can like bring any Pokemon out, right? Or
yes, you can, but the interaction with them is more limited.
I see.
Like it's kind of a copy of how Heart Gold and Soul Silver was, where they follow you and you can talk to them and they'll react. You can't pet them or feed them, but the interactions are still very cute. They'll say like, they're enjoying the sunlight, or they want some attention.
Yeah.
Aww.
It is nice. I do wish they let you do more with the other Pokemon, because if you don't like Pikachu or Eevee. But I get like having to do that for all 150 Pokemon would be a lot. So
yeah, the game would have come out later.
Oh yeah. But I do wonder, just kind of like, the release of this game and kind of testing out how, I guess, popular something like this would be, and if they could expand it to what is essentially like Pokemon Daycare Simulator in the future.
I would be
play
so
that.
down, yeah.
But
like Nurse Joy the game.
Joy the game. Oh my god.
I would play the crap out of that.
Was it? So because I never actually played Pokemon Yellow, I didn't get to see like all the anime stuff in the game. So the anime and the game have always been separate to me. But like now that I get to play this, it's like mashing them together, and I love it so much because it's been forever since I've seen like Jessie and James and Officer Jenny.
Nice. Jessie and James, so underrated.
They are. I gotta get back to watching the anime. But back to the game.
Yes.
So a big change that I think people were really uncertain about was the removal of breeding, which called into question how competitive the game was going to be. Competitive,
right?
Yeah, because competitive Pokemon's really popular. I like to go to Pokemon Showdown and mess around with teams.
Right.
And I thought there wasn't going to be any, competitive aspect to it at all. But there kind of is, actually, because they did keep Pokemon Natures, which determine boons and banes for what stat, and they kept IVs, which are the like individual values that determine what Pokemon is just super good in a certain stat. But they took away EVs, like effort values that you get from normally battling, because you can't battle wild Pokemon anymore.
Right.
And they replaced that with this thing where you just feed them candy. And it increases their stats.
Make them diabetic.
Yeah, no, they took the candy from Pokemon Go, and it's just like, hey, feed your Pokemon candy.
Just
the
give
health
them
of these Pokemon.
Yeah, just...
Oh no. Just pour sugar in their mouth. Here you go. And throw the ball at their face.
So, but that's how just like the competitive mechanics have changed, and it just came out. And I'm wondering how that's going to be. Because you can challenge your friends to battles. By the way, Sal, I sent you a Switch friend request.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm super interested for if there is even going to be a competitive meta for that. When that resolves, part of that is, since you can transfer Pokemon from the phone app and use them in the game, I was thinking that this is kind of interesting where you've got this interaction, like your real person body goes out into the real world and you catch Pokemon that you can use competitively in the game once you transfer it over. And that thought was really cool to me. Just like, you're not limited to just inside the game anymore. But it's kind of this weird thing too, and I'm not so sure how well that's gonna work as like an idea. I don't know.
It's good for the people who like want to get out and like go do stuff, but not for the people who want to stay home and not do anything.
Which is also me.
Yeah. You're both at the same time.
So I bought a Switch. I wanted to seclude myself in my room and under my sheets all day long. But so far I've been loving Pokemon Let's Go, and I'm very thankful for Pokemon in general, because it's that thing I grew up with, and it really enabled me as a kid to have those opportunities to make friends, because it was this common thing all kids would play, right? And they're built around battling each other and trading and stuff. And there was this moment in high school where I gave up Pokemon because I thought part of growing up meant having to give up things you loved as a kid.
Those false things that our parents feed us.
The most depressing statement. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about my parents, but society more so.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. More accurate. Sometimes our parents.
And I remember. I'm sorry, Sal. But I remember I ended up just kind of being miserable for a while as I skipped over X and Y and Alpha, Sapphire and Omega Ruby. And it was like sophomore year of college. I'm just like horribly depressed, and I decided to just download Pokemon Alpha Sapphire after it's been out for a while. And it just reminded me how much I love Pokemon, and the just pure happiness it gave me. Even if like this was a remake too of Sapphire, in which I played through and I loved. 3rd gen's my favorite, which might help why I love Alpha Sapphire so much. But helping me realize that I didn't have to give up these things that I thought were childish to essentially be an adult, because Pokemon it's part of me, and it's part of my childhood. It is my childhood.
Yeah.
And
so you don't need to let stuff like that go.
I don't.
Yeah, like once you realize like you don't have to stop playing video games or like stop enjoying life, like it becomes so much better.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I'm so grateful and thankful to have Pokemon, because it is my childhood, but it also is the thing that made me realize that.
That's adorable.
Thank you. And and back to Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah.
They've added you can play with a second player.
Okay.
And I've been doing that, and it's so fun to
How does that work?
So the second player can't interact with people, and they can't trigger battles or anything, but they help you catching Pokemon, and anytime you do get in a battle, it ends up being 2v1. So playing with the second person does trivialize any difficulty that the game had. Not that storyline Pokemon was ever super hard to play.
Right.
But playing through this game with someone and then experiencing the dialogue and the story and the region really does make up for how like easy it is, like easy to a fault.
Right.
But you're just having so much fun playing with this other person. And the original Red Blue came out like 20 years ago, right? And I really think this mechanic is great for just like I'm not going to say old, adults who grew up on Pokemon like us, who now have families or, littler family members, and that they want to introduce them to the game and just experience it with them.
Oh,
and I think it's really well built for that.
That's a good way of looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon was always meant to bring people together,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just realized that with the whole mechanic where it's like you can take your phone, your phone game, and have those Pokemon that you catch go into Let's Go. Mm-hmm. You can have your kids go out with your phone and they can catch all your Pokemon, and then you can stay indoors.
Oh my god! So...
Yes, start working them at an early age.
They're all on phones anyway. It's like, whatever.
Oh my god, Hazel.
That's so
You're just gonna equip your class with just burner phones and then just like, go, my children, catch for me.
Catch for me.
That's so great. Speaking of bringing people together, how is segue? How is the online for the game?
I have not done anything online because Switch Online requires a membership.
You know how cheap that membership is?
Very, but you had to realize I spent $500 on the console.
And
then I spent another $100 to buy Fire Emblem Warriors with the DLC pack.
Okay.
So that night I ate McDonald's.
Not made of money.
I would have ate like minute rice. Like
well, was it? I could have just ordered a bunch of food, which I did.
Oh, okay.
Shame.
That's okay.
And I really do hope soon. Like, all the reviews from critics have been very positive for Pokemon Let's Go, and I'm really hoping that people are gonna give it a chance and see like what it is just this really fun time and celebration of what like Pokemon is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not on the fence anymore. I definitely want it after hearing that you like it.
Yeah. I think you can play it with Rick and have a fun time.
Yeah, but so it just all comes down to my paychecks now. Like, because Super Smash Brothers is also coming out.
Ah, crap, that's right.
Yeah. And so I'm like, that's a $60 and then $80 for Smash because I'm gonna buy the season pass. So I'm like,
oh geez,
shit, oh man. And then I still have to buy people Christmas presents.
Oh.
So, you know, it just I know I'll get it. I just don't know how soon.
Yeah, eventually.
And it kind of sucks because Nintendo games don't really go on sale.
They don't.
Oh, true.
Oh, my wallet's crying.
Oh, that's probably why I haven't gotten a Switch or a Wii U or anything since a Wii, which I got for free because my brother got it.
Nice.
Oh, money. Oh, well. Yeah. Who cares? We're having a good time.
I'm thankful for my job.
Thank you so much for enthusing with us. If you enjoyed what you heard, share it with a buddy so you can nerd out together. If you have any recommendations for improvements, feel free to leave them in the comments. Comments are always very much appreciated. We really want to refine the podcast, make a good product for the listening audience. So, ratings on SoundCloud and iTunes and Stitcher, they really do help a lot. And don't forget to hit the like button if you did, and follow us on social media. We are at Those Nerds Cast on Twitter. And you guys want to plug yours?
Sure. I am Kazel R on most places, but on Twitter I am Kazalu. And yeah, check me out there, and especially check me out on Twitch because I stream sometimes. I lost my schedule. I don't know what I'm doing anymore because I'm too busy. But I usually stream video games and or draw.
And then I'm at Salzik on Twitter, at Mr. Salzik on Instagram. And then you can also check me out on my friend's stream, twitch.tv/Where is Suspiria. Thursday nights at 6 PST. That's our time zone, right?
Yeah, we're Pacific.
We are playing Red Dead Redemption, and it's a fun time.
And you can find me on Twitter at Arielize_ and on Instagram at ALNZHANG. I want to thank my roommate Forrest again for this week's nerd question. You can find him at Twitch at Kahoy, KAHOYY. He likes to stream a lot of fighting games, so Sal, I know you enjoy those.
If you check him out, ask him what his waifu and husbando is.
That's right. I'll get him to answer. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.